Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. There is sunshine, but it's also a chilly out here in the farms. So we are here and we just want to say good morning to everyone. It's a beautiful day and we are equal to the task and we are showing up because it's in the showing up every day that we actually touch lives and we also um, get in touch with the people that want to join us and the people that follow us. So we come here on 8 hours free mentorship academy. Yes, free mentorship academy where all our mentees, our mentors, get to know us and also get to see what we are doing. And after the course, then the conversations start. So we're happy to be here. For those that are joining us for the very first time, call me Dr. Sunshine Sylvia, and I'm truly honored to spend this time with you. Those who have been following us, we have been on this platform for the last 5 years. If you see on the right hand corner there, it is showing 5 years. Yes, we've been here 5 years and we are still counting. It was 5 years on 1st of April. So we've been dedicated to this platform for such a long time. So today we are we are here and sharing the platform with everyone who follows us. On Monday we've got Rev Water, who is really an elder savvy person who we depend on every day, being in the background and doing things. Today we're actually showing up together. On Tuesday, it is linked to mindset change process with me, Sunshine. And Wednesday, we are sharing the platform with mompreneurs and letting the young people ride with us, led by Sampa Salome Mwansa-Chilambwe. On Thursday, we've got Dr. Nelly with bedroom to boardroom conversations, which are, awesome. Fridays, Rosette for healthy tips. So, and just talking about the Wednesdays, this Africa Freedom Day, the young ladies, Sampanchimwe put up. You've seen them on this platform. They put up a splendid, She Builds Africa, event. Oh, I was just so touched and amazed. I'm sure we're going to talk about it later in the week. Or next week, maybe I could talk about it, really so passionately because I was just so touched by their resilience and pulling up an event and even getting sponsorship for it. It was just so awesome. So today's conversation is one I am really incredibly passionate about. It's titled, Why It is Important to Learn the Skill in Mindset Change Process. Not just mindset change process. Everywhere I've gone, whether in the boardroom, whether in the classrooms, where I'm shopping in boutiques, when I'm at the bank, when I'm with the ministries, and even on social, circles, people are talking about the need for mindset change. They really talk about the need for mindset change. And it's just not talking about the need for mindset change, actually even expecting the next person to lead the change, not that it depends on me. And here is the big question. Why aren't we actually doing something about it? Mindset change is no longer optional. It's imperative. It's an enabler. It is everything that we want, to happen in our own surrounding. And today I want to show you why learning it as a skill, as a soft skill, and not just a theory, it can make the change in our lives and also in our workplace. It is actually, I heard from the deputy res rep at the UN saying mindset change is the elephant in the room. And on this conversation today, I'm not alone in this conversation. I'm joined today by someone I deeply respect, and this is Reb Water, the consultant, a voice of transformation in their own right. And you know why today it is so important? It's because we have been talking about this for a long time. We said, but why is it that people cannot actually learn the process? Why can't people do something that is really, really, so imperative? And why is it that it is so challenging? So I welcome you, Rev, to the show today, and I'm so glad to have you. And let's dive in it. So, why is it that mindset is one of the most talked about topics and yet one of the least practiced? I want to hear from you.
Good question, Doc. Good morning to you, Sunshine, and everybody joining us by way of this platform, both live and, of course, those who catch our recordings. Remember, these things are now being pulled down exactly 30 days after we post them. So for those of you who follow this, make sure you catch it before it goes down, or download it or something. Anyway, so Doc, that's a really good question you asked. And as a neuropsychology and neuro leadership trainer, I got to learn the depth of why it's so challenging for people to change their mindset. I mean, everybody knows it's a mindset. And everybody knows about mindset. I mean, right now, there's nobody you can talk to, whether it's in government or it's in private sector or even in church. They will tell you, it's a mindset thing. And I think the age-old question, why is Africa still where it is 62 years later? Everybody tell you, mindset. But the question, like you're asking, Doc, is if everybody knows, why are they not changing? And the answer to that, as you know, Doc, lies in the subconscious mind. When we were doing the series on the quantum leaps, we learned that the subconscious mind is the driver of all habits. Habituation is the expression of the subconscious mind's activity in determining and managing our daily lives. We learned that, like an iceberg, 10% that is exposed on top is your thinking mind's capacity, or what I would call control of your life. 90%, in fact, it's not even 90%, it's scary. It's between 95 to 97%. Listen to that. 95 to 97% of everything we do in our waking lives is controlled by the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is the driver. Now, how then is the subconscious mind so powerful? It is because it's the one that determines and runs everything to do with who we are. And the subconscious mind is programmed primarily during our formative years, between the age of 3 and 10. And then secondarily between 10 and 25. So you will not believe this, but the mind of a teenager is still not fully developed. In fact, the frontal lobe only develops for most people between the age of 18 and 25. So essentially, our entire life under guardians and parents is literally controlled by the environment. So the environment in which you grow up has a significant impact on your behavior in future. Now, behavior is a symptom, not a causative factor. So it comes from something deeper, but that depth is determined by environment. And that's why, Doc, we talk about mindset, but we can delve a little interestingly into this. Notice I'll mention 3 nationals, and then I won't mention the 4th one. I was going to mention the 4th, but it's not necessary. The 3. I'll mention 3 nationals, and you will immediately pick it. Immediately. You'll even go, And what makes these nationals so different? Their background, their environment. And so the idea of a stereotype comes from the behavior, the general attitude and behavior of peoples in a given place. So the first group I'll mention are Zambians themselves. The second group I'll mention are Nigerians. And then the third group I'll mention are Rwandese. Now notice, we have Nigerians, we have Rwandese, we have Zambians, and we've seen all of them and interacted with them in our environment. And what's the first thing you pick, especially with Nigerians and Rwandese? You pick assertiveness. So you realize they are very assertive, especially Nigerians, but let's go with Rwandese. They are very determined. They may not be assertive as Nigerians, but they're very determined and they're very committed. Another example would be Zimbabweans. You'll notice very committed, very resilient. And then Zambians, well, you'd have to now get specific. Like which part of Zambia? Is it Kopala people? Is it Lusaka people? Is it Eastern people? Is it Western people? Is it Southerners? Is it Northerners? So again, you'll notice that every one of these groups has a different behavior pattern. Where is that all coming from? Their background. So Doc, the reason why so many people have a challenge with mindset is because the subconscious mind is so powerful, it overrides any desire that an individual has. You can say, oh, I desire to change. That means zilch. It's absolute zero. It means nothing because the subconscious mind runs things on autopilot. And until, if you want to change mindset, you have to go into that subconscious mind and completely redo it. I'll close with this before you come in, Doc. It's the idea of mindset is like the illustration I've come to love of a concrete flower vase. You know, it's got a mold. It's shaped in a particular way. If you want to change it, that thing is set already. You can't just change it like that. The only way to change it is to pulverize it, to break it into absolute powder. Bring in new, cement, water, mix everything again, then look for the new mold you want, pour it into that new mold. That's the only way you see change. The mind of a human being is the same way. You're not going to say, oh, I want to change, and then you're working with the old. The old can't work with the new. Jesus said you cannot put new wine in old wineskins because the wineskins will burst. But if you put old wine in new wineskins, it will be a waste of the wineskin. So you see that whole transformative process, we call it transformational leadership. That whole process has to be transformative. And transform is where you get the word it is rooted in the word metamorphosis. It is a change from a caterpillar to a butterfly. They are not the same. So that's what needs to happen to people, Doc. Otherwise, we'll be going around in circles and we'll not see that transformation.
Ala, you are so right. Exactly, you are so right. If we want change, everybody wants change, but we often lack the process to achieve it. And this is why, at the Mindset Change, we are so big on the unlearning. We have to unlearn, because we've got the thing that prevents us from change as adults is upbringing. It is the positions that we hold. It is our education. So these people think, oh no, I've done this. I'm a professor, I'm what? I'm a doctor, I'm a scientist, I'm a, I was an A-class student, so there's no way I know everything. I can't change anything. I'm okay the way I am. So that is a barrier, as you say, that is a barrier which needs to be unlearned. And we've seen this in the process of mindset change. It's just so amazing. But once we take them through the unlearning process, then they have to relearn, then they have to practice so that they can retain the new knowledge that is happening. Because if they can't do that, it really becomes such a big deal that they think it's a waste of time. And the moment, because our course is like it's like it's grade 1. That's why we even write in pencil first until you are so sure that this answer is the one that is correct and the one that I want to retain. That is what takes the space. And it is sometimes you feel like, oh my goodness, what can we do to make this stick into people's minds? And so because everyone wants change. I remember when we were chatting with the PS Labor, and you saw how last week Yvonne, who actually is the Chief Productivity Officer, was talking about.
Oh, very well.
He says, he said, I wish I can just, give everyone a piece of paper to just come and tell me that what is it that we've done today? What is it that you can prove? You get that you came for work and you can be able to write this and you can be able to tell me that, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, I did from 1, 2, 3, 4 that we planned. If we can do that, then we are good to to go. You see, mindset isn't just about staying positive. It's about training your mind to think and act differently So you get different results from the results that you were saying. So I would like to introduce to you to something I call the mindset change process. We call it in short, MCP. This isn't a pep talk. MCP is a practical step-by-step system we have developed over the years that have helped people become, and listen to me very carefully, people become, because they are already being effective, but they become more effective. They are already efficient, but they become more efficient. They know how to do time. They are waking up doing things, but they become better time managers. They become really good at managing their personal time. They also help to prepare for retirement, and also because retirement is just putting in track what you're going to be doing after plan A is done. What is it that you're going to be getting through? What has been your investment? What is it that you'll be able to actually say, okay, this plan A is done. How can I now, because we stop saying you're retired, it's just shifting careers. You shift the career from what you were doing to what you start doing, after your plan A is done. So when you shift your career, what is it that you're going to be doing? So this helps you to prepare for that. And it also helps to prepare succession. Like for us who are in our afternoon of our lives, who is going to succeed us? What are people going to be talking about us when we are not there? How are they going to make sure that the things that we planted, because we've planted oranges, we've planted, we've planted fields of trees that last for a longer period of time, but when tended, they can last forever. So this is what that we're doing, that who is going to succeed us. And this is what really even made me proud when I saw Sampa and Chimwemwe pull up that event. Yes, Yande, you were there and you saw how, the young people are just, they've got so much, I was like, wow, everyone had a degree, everyone was doing something, everyone was, in their own space. So if I was even saying, if young ladies can be, can be doing this, it is really going to be so great. So this is one of the things that, mindset change does. And also it makes people more skilled in customer service, both internally and within teams, and externally with clients. Because sometimes we think, customer service is just, when you're selling something or when you're maintaining something. Customer service is both from your own team and from the people that we are there. And most importantly, we nurture all the things, we nurture in the wheel of life. That includes, family and home. It includes mental and education. It includes financial and career, where most people want to stay there and not really looking at this other, wheel of life. We nurture physical and health. We nurture ethical, spiritual and ethical. And the most important one, that when you maybe when you're dead, when whatever is happening in you, around you, the social and culture, who needs to know about you? What is it that you want people to know about you? And these are some of the things that we really want to master as we manage this. So Rev, I would love to hear from you. Has there been a time when mindset shift helped you move from stuck to success?
Oh, absolutely, without question about it. Because you see, I don't know if people. I guess it's the age-old problem of the comfort zone. Because the reason people don't move to where they would like to be, like overall, holistically, is of course mindset, but it's also this thing about the comfort zone. When you are at a place of familiarity and that place is, okay, because remember, comfort isn't necessarily liked. It doesn't mean that just because you are comfortable, it means you like where you are. Most people are comfortable, but they are miserable. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They are there, but they're not deep inside that. But then the problem is most people are not willing to move from their area of comfort to their success zone. And what I learned many years ago is that your success always lies outside your comfort zone. That's why anything. I mean, look at us, Doc, here. We are always fighting with this Chima platform of ours. And you remember, to become proficient in this thing, you have to completely move out of your comfort zone. Like, you have to sit there and start learning which button is what. This thing, what will happen if I press here? Oh my God, what have I pressed? Oh my, what have I pressed? Like, it's fish out of water. But you know what? If we want to be really good, we must go into those uncomfortable spaces. I've had to do so much discomfort because I needed to make sure that I get to a place where I have been able to demonstrate fully that what is going on in terms of our work. Now, you asked the question. I want to use an illustration I learned recently, which blessed my heart. You remember the story of Moses when he's talking to God and he gives all manner of, Moses was so broken by those 40 years of being in the back of the desert that he was just done. Like the Moses that left Egypt 40 years earlier and the Moses that met God on that burning bush in the mountain were so different. Moses gave every excuse to God and God was answering until in the end Moses was done with his excuses and he just made the ultimate statement. You know what, Lord, just send someone else. And that's when God was even upset with him. He actually told him off. And then Moses said, okay, fine. I'm paraphrasing this conversation, but I'm getting somewhere with this transformation thing. So then so Moses says, okay, so what am I going to use when I go there? Because I have to go and talk to you. So what am I going to, then God says, what do you have in your hands? He says, a cane. All right, throw the cane on the ground. Now I want to mention something that I learned recently, which blessed my heart from a gentleman I met. He said it and I was like, oh my God, I never saw it that way. He takes this walking cane of his stick, whatever it is, throws it on the ground, and it changes into a serpent. Now, let's pause there. It could have changed into a duck. It could have changed into a bird. It could have changed into an eagle. It could have changed into a lamb. Why a serpent? I'm getting to that. So first things first, the first lesson right there is the process of transformation. That whole thing, the stick represents a clutch. It represents leaning. It represents tradition. And then he throws it on the ground. It changes to a serpent. The serpent represents serpentine wisdom, which is what the Egyptians were using. And God was saying that if you want to succeed in Egypt, you must go in there with serpentine wisdom. Just imagine that. And Doc, that the idea of a serpent is very repulsive for most of us. Because, in fact, the Bible doesn't help us either, because it's amazing that we see the symbolism of the serpent, but we still picture the serpent as the one that approached Eve in Genesis chapter 3. Yet, God says this same serpentine wisdom is what you'll have to use. In Genesis 3, it says, now the serpent was more cunning than any other animals. Isn't that interesting? Jesus then says in the New Testament that I send you as sheep amongst wolves. Be therefore as what? As cunning as a serpent. There's that word again. So Moses, the idea of God using the serpent with Moses was to show him that in this transformation, you must be cunning. Now that's interesting. Now to be cunning means you're going to go outside your zone of comfort. You're going to go into territories and spaces that would normally be something you're not comfortable with. But that's the key. That's what makes this process very interesting. And you know what I've learned, Doc? Very few people have the courage to transform. That's why they don't. So it's this process of transforming. Scripture even says it. Do not be conformed to the pattern of the world. Conforming means in this comfortable state. Conform, comfort. So in this comfortable, but be transformed. So change from what you know yourself to be to something completely new and different. So Moses had to do that snake thing. And then on top of that, imagine the shock Moses had when it was a snake. Who wants to go near a snake, right? We would run away. That's the natural reaction. Ah, serpent, you go look for a stick to smash it immediately. So that transformation as well means it's something that's fearsome. It's something that's scary. Very few have the courage to face that kind of transformation. And in many
And
ways, Doc,
right. You're
yeah,
so
you
right,
ever,
because this
yeah,
kind of transformation, this kind of transformation needs, you don't have to fear. And a lot of us actually, we're so fearful of what people will say. We are so
yeah,
fearful of protecting our own take. Yeah, we are so fearful in just letting go of something that you've got no control over. So it
yeah,
really is something that we need to be speaking about. Okay, we've got 5 more minutes.
yeah,
Let me, and that's just so powerful. And I
yeah,
really thank you for that. And that's just it. Change doesn't happen by accident. It happens through a process. It happens through
deliberate,
a process. And this is the process that we come every Tuesday trying to share with with you. And this is the exciting part I would like to share with you. We are inviting you to learn, this skill. You have to learn this skill through our upcoming mindset change process training, and it's happening soon. We've had it in the background, but we've got it happening on Tuesday, 3rd to Thursday, 5th of June. And, we have designed three levels of participation. We've got the normal one, which is, the 6,900, where you get the MCP workbook, you've got your meals, and you've got the 3 month success tracking in the planner. And then we also have the 8,900. This includes everything in the first option, which is the workbook, MCP workbook, meals, 3 month success planner, plus accommodation. And because you are staying, we also give you a bonus etiquette class as we have the dinner. And then we have the 15,000 kwacha. This is for those who want to go deeper. You get everything in option one, which is you get the MCP workbook, you get the success planner, you get 3 months coaching, and you get the success planner, and also you get into you get the trainer's manual, which is obviously, with under the NDA, and continuous mentorship for skill transfer. We want you to have this skills transfer and for future income opportunities, because you need to know the product. Once you know the products, then you are good to go. So these three options are good. But even without this, we've got a whole range of things that we do for those that want just 1 day, half a day, 2 days, 3 days. We've got master classes for those, but those are as they fall due or as you inquire, because there's a minimum of how many people we need to to put up those classes. So in the background, we are always marketing this product. So if you are listening to us, you can be able to share this platform. You can share to the audience, and you can share all these opportunities that we have, so that we can shift. We can throw the stick, and it becomes into a step, and we can actually see the real change that we want to see. Because if there is no real change, we are not going to manage these things that we want. Change starts with me, and then it transfers to the other people. And this thing that we have, the event that we have next week on the 2nd, just to start the other quarter on a high. We want to start on the other quarter on a high, and then these are really something that we want to to happen. Converse, thank you so much for following on LinkedIn. You are so welcome. So these are some of the things that we really want to happen in our own lives. Mindset is everything. And with MCP, you won't just hear about it. You will learn how to build on it. Every day is a building platform. You're building on the things that really need to be out there, and we use them. Every day we are doing something different from what we did yesterday. Because if we continue doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, then we are insane. So this just makes sure that you go out there and make things happen and do everything possible that you need for us to to move on. So don't wait for the conditions to change. Be the condition that changes everything. So to everyone watching, if you are tired of the same results, if you are ready to feel more in control, more organized, and more confident, if you want to, if you want a process that works, then just say, I am ready in the comments or DM us directly or reserve your seat today. Seats are limited, of course, but first come, first in. And if the class is full, we just take you to the next class and this carries on. And this could be your moment. And I would just like you to thank you for joining us this morning. Rev, you've been amazing. And I thought since our guest had to get some feedback from where she is. I thought since we're always talking about this, and since you're part of the game, and since you've gone through this mentorship program, you've gone into the mindset change. This can't just wait for you to just be to talk about it. I remember when you were actually in class, you were so busy writing, transferring them to here, transferring them to, and we actually coined the name that should be able to bring in the money, not just people liking you and doing what people taking now action so that we can be able to do the great things that we want.
That's
So let's
right.
continue to grow. Yes, let's continue to grow, glow in our own environment and go forward on purpose. So until next Tuesday, I'm signing off, and we will see you tomorrow with the mompreneurs so that we can continue our conversations. So thank you so much for joining us.